What's going on, guys? We're here for another video today. So we're going to talk about the Andrew Tate, Clavicular, Sneeko, Tristan Tate, Justin Waller, and the one and only Nick Fuentes collab stream they did last night. Um, this is generational, for me and for a lot of guys out there and for a lot of people in general. And a lot of people, oh, and Myron Gaines, Myron and Walt, can't forget Myron. Um, for a lot of people out there, I'm seeing a lot of hate on this collab. I'm seeing a lot of people trying to act like they didn't see it or they don't care about it. And then I'm seeing a lot of hate. And then on the third side, I'm seeing people like, oh, okay, I'm gonna try to, I saw that vid, or they try to act like they didn't see the whole thing, and they're like, I saw that one part, and I was like, oh, okay, what did you think about it? He was like, well, I agreed with this, but this part too, and then that part was cool. But when they were sitting in the office, that was cool, and then they went to the club. It's like, oh, okay, so you watched the whole thing. It's okay if you watch the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? It's okay to like these people. They're funny. They're based. They know about politics. You know, they preach self-improvement. They preach being a Christian, being close with God, except, some of them. Sneeko's a Muslim and Tate's a Muslim. But other than that, they preach, pretty much things that are going to help you be financially free, um, have a strong financial basis. They preach don't put women on a pedestal, don't treat women like they're the end all be all. Don't simp. Don't be a simp. And, these are kind of basic principles that you could say that, they're pretty basic principles, entry level, you could say. But when I look at every other streamer and I look at every other creator, they don't have these basic principles. Everybody else is simping for women. Everybody else has no frame. Everybody else is an idiot. They don't know anything about any politics or any countries or anything. Everybody else is they're just clowns. Literally, everybody's just a clown, just throwing a pie in their face for clicks and views. So, the reason I like these creators, the Myron, the Myrons, the Tates, the Nick Fuenteses, those are really my guys. Everybody else, I'll kind of watch them a little bit, but Tate, Myron, Fuentes, those are the guys. Clav has some good information too, but the reason I like them is because they have a purpose. They have a reason that they turned on the camera. They have a reason why they make a video. Other people, they just put a stream on and then you're just like, oh, I'm gonna try to just play around or mess around or just, whatever. Do or say whatever for how long I gotta be on here? 4 hours? Okay, we're just gonna just say anything for 4 hours. Oh yeah, what's up, chat? Oh yeah. Titties? Oh yeah, titties. Chat, titties or ass, chat. Titties or ass. Ass. You said ass, chat? Oh, huh. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with titties. Ah, titty. Yeah, it's just like, bro, what are we doing here? I like titties just as much as the next guy, but come on. Can we can we get something going here? And maybe it's just for kids, or they call it brain rot. That really fits because it is brain rot. So I feel like these creators, they're outside of that brain rot demographic. They actually have things that's going to help. So getting into it though, I feel like it was a great stream. It was a great collab. Generational, honestly, really generational. Who would have known all these people would have came together for a stream? They got Nick to go to the club. That was just, I'm seeing Nick Fuentes at the club. They're playing Kanye, Hal. I don't know if I can say that word on YouTube, but they're playing Kanye's band song, Hal the Dictator, Hal Dictator. And Nick is at the club. Of course, women are trying to approach Nick at the club because it's Nick Fuentes. You know, he's the most famous political commentator. Um, and you could just see him like, I'm good. I don't want to talk to women. I'm good. I don't want to talk to women. Please leave me be. Like this man is literally just he's a political force. He's not even a human being. He's not even a man. He's just a political force. He's a political entity. He's at the club. You have beautiful women trying to approach him. This is where every man would have folded. You know? I mean, Genghis Khan, Alexander the Great, even these men are folding when they get a whole bunch of women around them like, "Hey, yeah, let's go. Let me get your number. Come over." It's like, all right, you don't even got to put effort into it. It's just like they're coming on to you. But Nick Fuentes, it's just like, nah, man. I don't care for that. I don't want to involve myself with that. I'm not doing that because I'm not going to have sex with you. So there's nothing for us to do. That's how he's thinking. And you know, that if you have that type of mindset, that'll take you a really long way. I think a lot of people are prisoners to their own lust, and it really holds them back a lot because they can't seem to prioritize things that actually matter, like going to the gym, like reading a book, like studying your craft, like, you know, going out there and competing day after day. This is what you have to be doing because it's a very competitive world out there. A lot of people are trying to get the same exact things that you want. So what are you going to do that's going to separate yourself? So that's why I like Nick Fuentes because he's a virgin and he has women throwing themselves at him every day, but he rejects them because he's focusing on politics. He's focusing on America. He's focusing on his movement. Who else is doing that? Okay, call him whatever you want, right? Call him whatever you want. Who else is doing that though? Literally nobody. Literally nobody. Everybody else, they're falling to their lust. They're having an affair or two over here in Monaco. They're sleeping with the babies. They're sleeping with the maid, with the babysitter. Something. They're gonna fold in some way, somehow, somewhere. But Nick, he always stays strong. And that was a good part in the stream. I feel like when they listened to the Kanye song in the tour bus, that was that was nice. That was a moment because honestly, I don't even I didn't even listen to that song. I literally didn't even listen to that song. I didn't know that song was so good. I thought it was just a Kanye. I'm just trying to provoke people type of thing. I'm trying to just show them. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm here for that. But when they played it and I heard the bass in the bus, and then I seen everybody like in the moment together, I was like, this song goes crazy. But I was like, this song is great. I literally went and tried to download the song. Of course, it was banned on every single platform, but I was listening to it on Rumble. So that's that's how you know. That's how you know something is going on in your country when you have to go to Rumble to listen to music. You got to go to Rumble to listen to music. That's how you know, okay, maybe we're not free. Maybe we don't have freedom. But other than that, it was a good stream. I like when Tate was talking about politics with Sneeko. Um, I felt like Sneeko was trying to, because Sneeko has been talking about how we shouldn't be trying to get Greenland, how we shouldn't be trying to go into Venezuela, how we shouldn't be trying to do things like that. He's been kind of very, very vocal about it on Twitter. And, he was talking to Tate about it a little bit, stuff like that. They got into it a little bit because Tate was, of course, the exact opposite of that stance, he wanted to go get the stuff. Sneeko said we shouldn't go get the stuff because that's their stuff. Me, I agree with Tate here, but except when it comes to Iran, that's a different story because that's going to be a war. But it was just interesting because you could see Sneeko was just asking him questions like, okay, how do you feel about the Venezuela situation? How do you feel about this situation? And Tate just kind of flipped it completely. He flipped it completely to where he went on his own rant. And he was like, I like it because it's funny. And the way it happened, we come here, we take your woman, throw you in a Nike Tech. That's what I like. It sends a message. He kind of took it in because you could see Sneeko wanted a geopolitical debate. Tate didn't give him a geopolitical debate. He just gave him a monologue. So that part was interesting. Other than that, I mean, W Stream, what can I really say? I mean, I saw Fresh a little bit coming in. He was trying to get people to drink, and people were like, yeah, we don't drink, which is just another W. Like, you got women, but you're not having sex with the women because you're focused, but they're there. You got people trying to drink, but you're not drinking because you're focused, but you're going to the club focused. You're going to the club for what the club brings you. You're not in the club. You're not in the club being programmed, or you're not in the club as just a regular club goer. You're not in the club as a docile person. It's just a part of the thing you're doing. You're still locked in, and that's what I appreciate. That's what I appreciate. They didn't get sloppy drunk. They didn't just have sex with whores. Who knows? Maybe they did after the stream, which, I mean, it is what it is. I wouldn't. But the just the purpose, just the discipline. I mean, you could see that it's just there. It's just there. A lot of people fake that. Like, yeah, I do this and I every day is 6 a.m. and I'm this guy and I'm a great family man. And then, a baddie comes in there and it's like, hey, what's up? What's your name? Now it's funny. Now it's cool. Now it's chill. But you can see the discipline with these guys. It really is there. It really is in them. They really are kind of locked in. Maybe not all the time. I don't know. But it's just kind of very apparent when you watch them. So I think it was a good stream. Yeah. They don't know this thing I say on Twitter. All my niggas.